welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter. Hello, Nick. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
Good to see you. Real quick, we're here to talk about the wonderful FileMaker platform. Seriously, there's so many cool things you can do with FileMaker. Nick here is always at the bleeding edge of really pushing FileMaker to its maximum limit. For Tuesday, we're continuing our creating custom publishing mail in FileMaker. This is basically about printing mail. Like, how do you get mail to print? Nick is using the cool new layout calculation to do some really cool stuff with it. Real quick, if you'd like to support the channel, I highly recommend you get one of our FM Training TV bundles. Seriously, this is a really every once in a while I'll get people in my comments going like, hey, we really don't like the live stream setup. You guys talk for an hour, it gets constantly interrupted, there's like sidetracks. I think it's part of improving and enabling the community, but it's a very community oriented stream, which means that we have outside opinions coming in and we filter those to our presenters. If you are looking for very specific answers on a very specific time scale with zero distractions, which is understandable, pick up one of these bundles. It's 100+ hours of video content. We cover pretty much everything under the sun: server, WebDirect, all of Pro, pretty much all the basics you need to know to be a competent FileMaker developer in your own right. We talk about all of it. And they're all very short form videos. So, with that being said, I think we're probably good. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello. Thank you, Matt, for the introduction as usual. Thank you everybody for joining today. So today we do the second day of the printing mail, So now we need to have the specific of this. So it's for printing mail. That means generating mail, generating PDF, generating letters. Okay, how we can generate letters different with different samples, create a sample, merge the data within the text, right? We merge data from the database and within the text, and we learn how to do that using this evaluate technique that you put the calc in a field and on a record, and then you can use and call the record and use a different calc, and then you have a different results. And the letter looks different. Yesterday you said you had two questions, if I remember, and yeah. So we can start with this.
Okay, one of them went somewhere. I don't know where it went. But the one that I'd like to do is, would we need additional buttons to bring in each different piece of information? Like name brings in name. If we want some other information, we build another button in parameter? Question mark.
Yes. So because when you want to add a keyword, right? So you have different button for different keywords, right? So you can add whatever, and then the system will replace this keyword by the information, so that a keyword, and then we have a system that will replace this. But okay, so this is where I'm going to come with this, because the system I'm using, there's a big difference as before. That's why I'm here, and that's why I want 2 days, because before here, okay, let's keep the second question for later. Let me answer this because it's part of the demonstration. Before we were doing this, we had keywords like I don't know, dollar or whatever, we were using, or this sign, this sign. Sometime we were using, not this one, okay, this, and say name, right? And then we had this and say, oh, we were using this. Personally, I was doing this. First name, right? So we had a keyword like this, right? And then we had, right? You remember that? Who know that? For who is familiar in
I
the
remember you
audience,
talking about this.
right? So we had this, right? And then we were doing something like this, right? We were doing something like this. Substitutes the text, and then we were looking for this. We look for this, first name, right? And we were replacing this, so we were looking for this and replaced by this. So pretty much that was going, right? And then we had another one, so we had this, we had this, and then we had a succession of things like this that say we replace the first name with Nick and the last name, oops, not the last name with Hunter. So yeah, I need this brackets and brackets. Last name. Oh, name. I put. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this is what we were doing. So we had keywords like this, right? And we were using a substitute to substitute whatever the keyword was by the data, right? Correct? Everybody in the audience?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay. But this is BS. This is 1980. We don't want that anymore, right? So that's why the technique I'm introducing now, it's a game changer. Because if you notice something, right, what do I use as a keyword, right? What do I use? $, or original address, $, short name trace, $, So why $? In the FileMaker calculation, what is this? It's a variable. It's something FileMaker can read automatically, right? So here how it works. Okay, let's say I'm going to put this, right? For you to understand how I change this without any type of substitute whatsoever. Let's say I'm going to have a script here. I'm going to generate a variable first. Okay, I'm generating a variable last, right? And right. So I'm going to generate those variables. Okay, I'm doing global variable because it's for the demo, right? Okay, so I'm generating this. I have this variable here, right? They're here, correct? Okay. So now I'm doing this. First and space and last and city. What do you think it will happen if I commit that field? What will happen here on the preview? This. Because thanks to the calculation, layout calculation, I have directly on the layout the possibility to read things like this. I can read things like this. You understand? So that means the calc says, okay, whatever the first variable is, and the space, and whatever the last variable is, and whatever the city is. If I change those variables on the fly, okay, first I'm putting March. Oops. And where are you now? Fairfield?
I am in Fairfield. Yep.
Okay. So look what happened. I changed that on the fly, right? Oh yeah, I need to reinitiate this. Boom. So you recommit the record, or I mean, you refresh the calculation by changing the calc, because remember this in the preview, to get the preview, what I'm doing, I am putting evaluate the body. So if you want this to happen, right? So now, that being said, do we have any question on this?
We don't have a question about this, but we do have a question. Do you want to take it or wait?
Is it off topic, or I mean it's
related to this topic in general, but not related to
okay.
this.
Okay, yeah. Send me the tell me the yeah.
I use the evaluate calc and a record technique to calculate custom naming formats that can vary. I've always been concerned using evaluate in case a user misuses it. How do you manage security?
Security. At what level? What do you mean by security?
I think they're worried about users adding records to the calculation table and getting, like, I don't know what they could do with the calculation.
I mean, yeah. So when you have something like this, when you have a table, you don't expose this to everybody. I mean, for example, in most of my developments, I have what I call a system table. I have a system layout, a system where inside I'm putting all the default values, the default stuff, and I'm putting all what is necessary. It's like the hood. You have the engine, and then you put the engine under the hood, right? And I don't allow anybody to open the hood. The hood, only a few people like myself can go under the hood and don't touch this. So you don't let your user go there and change things. This is actually, it's more a developer tool. It's to be able to customize your calculation and stuff like that without the need of going to script workspace or go to manage database. And the advantage also is to be able to have one unique calculation that returns different type of results, and then on the fly, and without any case, and and I can for example, when you have this system, you can add a header on the fly. I don't need to to go to manage database and add and hard code whatever the header will be, right? So you understand? So yeah, you can use it, but you need to put that on the side and don't let all your user go there. That being said, this technique here, when what's the name? So yeah, yes, I cut my. So when you have the where I was in the body here, okay. So since the result, it's a calculated result based on the calculation that I'm putting in a field, okay. You understand? So you can, if this has been, if you set the variable, right, then the calculation will show whatever the variable is. But the beauty of this is that you can do things like this. My name is like this, right? So you change this on the fly, boom. My name is. I didn't need to change the substitute. You know what I mean? And if I change the, if I add a variable, it will be instantly processed. So I don't need to change let's say if I'm adding a new thing here, and space and states, let's say I'm adding this, just what I need to do is to add the variable here, states. Okay. I'm setting this, right? And you need to, boom, and you add this. I didn't need to add any substitute and stuff like this, right? So now, do we have any question based on this?
Can you do this in FM 19.6?
No, you need 20. Because we need to get all the benefit of this, we need this. We need the field calculation. This is the field calculation. It's a layout calculation. It's a layout calculation, right? So if I do this, it's a layout calculation. Boom, Fairfield, right? So it's that's why we need 20. If you don't have 20, you cannot have this. So are we okay? Can I continue?
Yep. They have just a thank you for you addressing the problems. The
Okay.
security question.
Okay, cool. No problem. So now, look what I've done here. So we all know about the let statement, right? So how the let statement works, right? So because I try, I can get all the help I can get. It's what I want, right? I want to use all the benefits of a feature, right? But sometimes the feature are a little bit hidden, and they're not explained anywhere. That's why you came here, right? So let's say I'm going to put that on the side for now, and I'm going to add a new calculation layout, right? So no, first, yeah. So first, I want to explain how the let statement works. In the let statements, you have two types of what we call statements. So when you call the let, we have a let webinar, right, Marge?
We have a let's webinar, yes.
Yes. So you have two sides on the lets. You have what they call the variable, right? And all this, variable 1, variable 2, this is what we call a statement. So we have a let statements with variable. And then we have the second side of the calculation of the function, which is the calculation itself. That means the calc using the statements. So how this works, right? So in the statement, you can have a variable that is only available on the calc. It's only available during the calc. It's there. It's just there. It will never get out of the calc. For example, today, equal gets current date. So let's say I'm doing this, right? This is my statement, correct? Oops. And my calc will be today plus 10. Correct. That means the today plus 10 days. Okay? Because today is the 25th of June, plus 10 is the 5th of July, plus 20 is the 15th of July, right? So this will never get out of the calc. If it's there, it's inside the calculation. It will never, I can't use this. The today equal, I can use this only within that calculation, right? I can call it here, right? But there's another type of variable. It's a variable. So I can declare inside the let statement, today equal get current date with a $$ sign. I still can, because now it said table missing because I changed the name of this, but I can say this up. So now my calc is going to use that variable, but now look what happened. This variable $$ sign is now available. It's there. It's there. Because doing this, you take out the variable. You take it out, right? So I can do this, for example. $$ results equal this. So now I have two statements. I have two variables here. So I can use the results in my calc, right? But also look what happened. Now the result is outside. I generated a variable, right? So I made it global because I wanted to be persistent and stay until I change it. For example, I can blank those variables. I want to blank them. That can be done like this, right? I'm blanking them as a blank blank. So now gone. They're gone. If I put again today like it was, boom, it's back, right? So that's when you know how to manage this, it's extremely powerful. Okay. So now the demo. So do we have any question about this?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay. So now let's say I have two fields, name and city. What happened today to me? I have two fields here, right? So I'm putting the name and I'm putting the city. Yeah, but I'm using the wrong table, right? I'm putting the wrong table. No, I could do that here. It's the same. It's the same. Name and city, right? I can do that here. I don't want to add confusion. So I have two fields here, the name and the city. Name and the city, right? Okay. So I can put something in the name. So I'm putting Marge and city Fairfield. Okay. So I can now use a layout calc. So follow me because, you know, it's where it's getting a little bit fuzzy, you know. Okay. I'm using a let statement. And I'm going to say, okay, in my body, remember here, in my body, I have my name is, let's change this to $1 only, not $2. So this, we call that a local variable. Okay. It won't happen here. It won't come here. It won't stay stick. It won't stick. It won't, but it will be available during the calculation. So I have this, I have this and this. I have first and city, right? In my calc, I have a let statement, and I'm saying the first equal whatever I put in name, and the city, what I have today, equal whatever I have in city. Remember, first and city. Correct? And now I'm saying evaluate whatever calculation is in body. So evaluate this calc, right? Is there? Oops. Look this. My name is March Fairfield. If I change this to Nick. Okay. So what happened here? Because I know it's, did you understand? First, I want to know who understood what's going on here.
There's a question we have.
Mm-hmm.
In your layout calc, you let use local variable. Why? Locals are deleted after scripts end running.
Yes, but I don't use scripts. Ha! Where's the script? Where's the button? I don't use scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying is fuzzy. Because I have a calc inside of fields. And here I say, okay, I want to use this global. I want to use this, and this. I can even add the last if you want, if it can help if it can help the comprehension, right? Mm-hmm. So in my calc here, I can add here. I can come last equal, and it's last. Okay. So, okay. So I have the calc here calling for a variable. We learned that the let statement can generate variable. Okay? We learned that. I can generate variable like I would have done in the script. Set variable, set variable, set variable, set variable. This is the same as doing it here in the calculation. It's the same in the let statement. Okay? But also because this calc is confined inside, let's say, a bucket. It's confined inside a box, and then I say, okay, I'm generating during the calc, during the evaluation of this calc, how it works, how FileMaker evaluate this. He said, okay, I have a let statement. Okay, no problem. So I'm reading first, because this is what he's doing. He's reading like the first arrive, first serve, right? The $first equal name, equal whatever I put in the name is Nick. The city, the $city, it's whatever I put in the city, which is called foo. And the dollar last is whatever I have in last. Okay? So then, what FileMaker does, he keep that in memory. He generated the I can show you. I can show you. It generated the variable, and then I evaluate this calc that is inside here. And the calc said, okay, dollar first, dollar last, dollar city. Okay. So I generate them. I set them. I set those variable during my let statements. Okay. So I generate this, I generate this, I generate this. So now you ask me to evaluate that calculation. I can get user result. I can evaluate that calc because you asked me for the last, for this first, and for the city, and I have them. So pretty much what happened is this. It did this. Set variable name with name. I keep the same city and last. And then evaluate body. Correct? That's exactly what the calc is doing. This calc is doing this. I set the variable, and the variable in local variable, and then I evaluate whatever in the body. So it's doing this, evaluate this, evaluate this, evaluate this. So they are here, name, city, and last. They're here, okay? They are here. And then you use this to do this, correct?
That makes sense. So
That's it.
we have another question though, actually. You could use a direct field. You passed a variable because you need more flexibility? Question mark.
No, I cannot. I can't. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. I could. Yeah. Oh, good remarks. Good remark. I could do that. Definitely. I could do that directly. Of course I could. I could do that. It works. And I could get rid of this. I could have just said evaluate this. Oh yeah, I removed the my bad. You need to be a calc. Evaluate body. It works. It's there. I could have done, of course, I could have done this. But what do you think is that? Okay, here's the problem why I'm not doing this. Here is the problem is this. I go there and I want to copy this technique to another table or whatever, right? And well, I'm changing the name of this, right? Path broken. I need to go there and change the name on all the calcs to get it work. So now you understand, right? You understand why I'm not doing this? It's because I want to keep all what I've built to be reusable and portable, something that I can copy and paste, right? Why do you think you have such nice, you will have today this such nice sample file? Because I built that for customers, right? And I extracted everything outside to build that for you, right? So, and that's why I didn't even change the name of the thing they were using, But and it was working. If I use the technique if I use the technique of the variable like I was using, you have much more flexibility, right? You don't agree? Especially you can do something like I've done here. Here, right? I wanted to have this. You understand? I want to have a default data, a sample data, an example for the preview. Because when you build a letter, you don't have data. You know, that's why I don't have this. But for the demo, I create those free fields, but I'm going to remove them. I don't want those fields, right? But still, I want to be able to have a sample. I want to be able to have a sample, to have something, Jane Doe, right? Some example. And for example, in here, I don't use the what's the name? The security code, for example. But I want a security code. I want to be able to have a security code like here. I want to add security code here, and I'm going to add, this, for example, right? I'm adding a security code. I didn't have it. Boom. Now I have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have an example, but I don't have data. I don't have. But thanks to that technique here, I get my sample by defining the variable as I want. So I define the date with this, the full name with this, the full name trace like this, right? An address, scheme name and the security code, Miss Jane Doe, Mr. Doe, and whatever URN number, and and I want to use that as a sample data. So if you use the field, that means I need the field. You need to have a record. You understand? It's not portable. It is not portable, right? And so that's why I'm using the variable. Correct?
Yes, that makes sense.
Makes sense? Okay, yeah, okay. Because the variable you can use, for example, if you see the scripts I have for printout, I'm generating the variable on the fly. Okay, I'm generating the variable as I want in the scripts. I prefer to do that, but both techniques are available. Is because it allows me, right, to have multiple scripts with different source table. If I put this in a calc itself that says date equal this, or full name equal, like here, for example, you see, the name equal the T299 import. Okay, I can have the same name with different source. It can be another table. So that's why I'm doing that on the script. So I can have multiple printout script from different table, but I have only one calc here. That's why in the layout printouts, okay, here I just have evaluate body. Okay, evaluate letter body, because I'm generating the code, here in the scripts, right? So the scripts is generating the variable, and then the calculation here is evaluating the calculation that I have defined by the variable. So you have much more flexibility doing this. Don't you agree?
No, I would definitely agree.
right?
Very cool.
I can, because I can have one layout, right? And I can have multiple source of data, not only something defined in a calc, right? So here I have one script that do this, but I can have another script from another table with different, but the name of the variable will be the same, but this will come from another record, from another table, right? So it could be different, right? Or I can have a different body, right? I mean, I can have a different body from so it's much flexible doing this. So that's why. So when you combine both, so this was an example, but when you hear in the data, so this, you have your data, you have your real data, the name and stuff like this, and you want to generate. So you say, okay, I want to use the letter 1, so I'm using this letter, right? For this, I have this letter. What is the letter 2? Yeah, I can have this letter 2. Okay. So I say, okay, here I want to print the letter 1. You preview and you have the letter 1. But then you say, no, I want the letter 2, the other letter, right? You preview, you have the other letter with the name, right? Flinken, Kevin Flinkent, Kevin Kent, right? So how we do that, So here you say, okay, I want to use that letter. We define that letter with the different components, correct? So this is 2 records. You have letter test 1 and you have letter test 2. Okay, you have 2 letters, 2 records. But here, right, I defined many IDs, which signature I want, which logo I want, which other logo, which letter header, letter footer, and which body. So you define all of those things, what you want to see, right? So you call all your components, right? And of course, you call all the calcs within this letter, right? In this letter, the body is this calc. This is the calc of the body. Then the whatever header, no, not the title, header right. This is the calculation for the header right. Whatever the footer center, this is calculated for the footer center. So that means you brought inside this record here, in those fields, you brought all the calcs. Let me show you. So this is a body calc. This is a footer right calc. This is the footer left calc. And this is let's see here. This is a signature calc, right? So in this record, here, choosing things here, you call for whatever you want, like body. If I change the body, I have a different body, right? Because in the body table, I define the body. I'm using in the letter, right? I'm using this calc. This calc I bring in here. Why I'm doing this? Is because I create that letter, right? I create that letter, but I don't want, if I change something here, right? I don't want to modify this, right? Or I need to call again. For example, let's say I'm changing this, I'm doing like this. like this, right? I change the letter, but this one, right? I don't see it. I don't see it, the change. I will see the change if I create a new letter and I call that body. I have the nick, but here I don't. Here I don't. Because this has been imported before the change. Of course, if I go there and I call again body one, bam, it comes. But then it gives me the flexibility to say, okay, I'm not modifying previous letter that I've created. Okay, so it's the benefits of this. Correct. So you understand how now I have all of those components, right? I bring that inside this letter. And I have all the components, all the calcs, calc. When I have all of those components, now I can say, okay, here my data. I want to use the letter 1, correct? Now I want you to show me a preview, right? So what happened? This is where the script is involved. I define the date, right? The full name. So I'm defining all the what's the name? The variable, right? With the data that I have here. So I'm defining the full name based on what I have here. I'm defining this full name based on what I have here, etc., 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 etc. And then all of this is data. Now I'm defining which calc. So I'm defining those. Also, the other reason why I'm doing with this is because now I have the possibility to see everything. For example, I have the dates, the foot. I know which calc. I can see the calc of the footer. I can see the calc of the footer left. I can see the calc for the footer right. I can see the calc of the header right, of the body. This is a calc. I can see it, right? And then I define all those variables. And then I'm going to the layouts where I have a layout calculation in the layouts that is, say, evaluate everything that I have here. Correct? So the layout is going to evaluate this calc, that is calling for full name, is calling for mini match address, is using URN, is using scheme name. Where's the scheme name? Origin scheme name here. Scheme name. So this calc is going to call for variable here, but the layout calculation is going to evaluate it and display it without any substitute and whatever. And now you can see your calculation and you can see your results. Correct?
This is extremely cool. Yeah, people are saying, this totally answers my question from yesterday. Thank you, Nick. 100%.
Okay.
This is very cool.
Yeah, I mean, now you understand. I mean, I don't know if you never had to do something like this, a printing like this, right? Which I have to do like hundreds of thousands to do in my entire career, because I'm coming from farm. I start doing things professionally with this, with FileMaker 4, but not the Claris FileMaker 4. The FileMaker 4, it was the first. FileMaker 4 was the first FileMaker version. And tomorrow I'm going to show you. I found the box. I forgot to pick it. I have the box of the very first version of FileMaker. I still have the box, the floppy, I have everything, and the book. And so I'm doing this since the beginning of my career, printing things like this and merging data inside text, and then print and send to per customers, right? So people, right? So but the layout calculation changed the game completely, because now, as I said, did I create a record? I don't need to create a record, because if I want to, what my script will do, when I want to print, I have a loop, and I go to next record, right? And I save as PDF with an append, or so I generate this and I print, generate, print, generate, print, generate, print, generate, print. So I'm going to next record, next record, next. So this is how I'm doing. Okay. So, and that's why I can, for example, let's say I want to print like 5 letters or 10. Okay. So I want to print 10 letters. I want to print them. So let's go to letters. I don't want to delete this. Okay. Then I want to print them. So I'm printing there. So of course on the server, that happened on the server. Okay. It doesn't happen locally. When it happens locally, it's slower, right? But now I have my 5 letters. Oh yeah, I moved I added an extra space here, so now it's off. So yeah, because I added an extra. I add this, so I need to remove this. So where is the where? Do you see it? Oh, security code, this one.
Oh, there you
So
go.
I'm
Yep.
removing this, right? So now it won't be the same, right? So let's remove this letter. So it's going to one record, right, like this. And because I'm showing it is slower, but on the server is instant. Okay. Oh, I still have this. Oh, yeah, my bad. I need to do this. Okay. Okay, once again. Okay. Okay, so I my letter 10 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10. Right? So and the prints, the layouts. So let's talk about the layout before we go to the question. The layouts is this. It's a very simple layout. Right? So I have my logos, whatever they, right, center, left. I have my headers, my body that can have multiple pages. At the end, I have the signature and the footer. So nothing complicated. So I allow like, the possibility to print many pages, right? Not only one. And you use this, right? So if you use this, if we sliding up based on all object above, and also resize and closing part. So I'm not going to explain this. But would you like me to explain that?
I think it'd be good to explain it.
All this printing stuff here, sliding and visibility, and all what you can do, because it can get hairy.
It does. I was fighting with a couple lines the other day that I could not make look nice on the printing. So I think I would like an explanation.
Okay, but people, what do people say online? Or are they all dead?
They might all be dead. I think they're here, but we're also getting to the end of the hour, so I get people.
Okay, yeah. So
Edie says they would love to see it. David says me in all caps. So
okay, yeah, because the problem is okay. First, I want to address a message to Claris. Shame on you, Claris. Yeah. Shame on you. This. If I open in California, I have a Mac Plus with the first FileMaker version working on it. Okay. Shame on you, FileMaker, since FileMaker 1.0, since FileMaker 0.0. Okay, from the first, they never changed this. This comes from the prehistoric version of FileMaker, and they didn't even change anything on this. So yeah, shame on you. Because really, yeah, I can do that. I can. It can get hairy, especially when you have a polar involved. And you know what? I'll tell you something. It is so basic, right? That is extremely powerful. What you can do with this. So yeah, it is worth. I think it is worth even 3 days on this, if you want me to cover it completely. Because you can do magic stuff with this.
yes, I want. Okay,
Not
well,
really.
I want to see that desperately because I've been making a lot of like printing invoices, and it's just been a disaster. It's been extremely painful. So if nothing else,
Okay, yeah, I can look what we are going to do. I'm going to see. I want to show you how to generate a report, right? With different table, with different data, with different type of data, and I'm going to mix. So this and the evaluation and all of this, right? Because all together is, the power comes when you mix things like this. You see here how many techniques I'm using here. I'm using a lot of techniques.
Yes, a lot of different options.
Yeah, a lot of different FileMaker components brought together, and poof, you have a new feature. Okay, so I'm using the evaluation on calculation in fields. I'm using what's the name, variable. So I brought together, and then boom, you have your new feature, which is the mailing publishing, right? So okay, so if we don't have any question, I think we're good.
We are good. Thank you so much, Nick. A lot of people are saying this is really awesome. This is very cool. Thank you so much for doing this. Okay, with that being said, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nick. This has been awesome. People are saying at the end of the day, they're a little bit smarter than they were yesterday, which I agree with.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Cool. All right.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.